Good evening, fans of Jewish humor everywhere. Let's get to it. There was a Jewish man in Boston driving around one evening looking for, what else? Chinese food. But he can't find a parking space. And he's driving around the building and there's no such luck. And then he slows down and he looks up to the sky and he says, God, if you create a parking space for me, I promise I will go to temple every Friday night. And he drives around the building one more time and no parking space. So he's a little more frustrated and he looks up to the sky and he says, God, if you create a parking space for me, I will keep kosher for the rest of my life. And he continues to drive around the building and there's still no parking space. And he's getting very frustrated at the parking situation, but he's more frustrated with God because, well, that's a Jewish thing. But he drives around because he still wants his Chinese food. And finally he slows down and he says, God, if you create a parking space, instead of 10%, I will give 15% of my income to the temple for the rest of my life. And bam, like that, there was a parking space. And he pulls in and he adjusts and he backs up and he pulls up and he gets it just right. And he steps out of the car and looks up and says, never mind, God, I found one. I found a parking space. I don't need your help anymore because that extra 5%, I want to keep that in my savings. You're a tough room. See you next week.